Hi guys, Cam Hawkins here from AutomateMyTrading.com and the 52 Traders podcast. Hey, thanks for joining me here today. Now look, what I'm trying to do is get a new concept off the ground, and I need to know if you guys are actually interested in it. So a few people are interested already, which is great to see, but I need a few more to really understand whether or not this thing is going to fly or not. So today what I want to quickly walk you through just some potential strategies, and there's 10 here that I've found. Just goes to show how easy it is to find strategies. So 10 strategies that we could potentially turn into trading robots, and you could test them out, try them out, use them, do whatever you want as a member of this new concept I'm calling public EA builds. Okay, so the idea behind it is you basically join as a member, and every month you're guaranteed at least one new EA. Okay, so members can submit strategies they would like built into EAs, other members vote on them, and then we decide on which strategies sort of have the top votes, and those with the top votes, I will actually action them and turn them into fully automated trading robots. Okay, so that's the concept, and if you join for a month, you get anything that is created during that month, and if you carry on joining, you get the new EAs coming out every month, so you can stop and start your membership as you wish, or you can join for a year and then you get everything for that year, or you become a lifetime member and you get everything without having to do anything. Okay, so quickly today I'm going to walk through a few. It was so simple. Jump on Google, have a search, and you come up with heaps of strategies that you can use and build them into auto trading robots. So this page here, and you can check it out if you want, has 10. So if you want to actually jump on and give it a whirl, you can have a look through them in detail, but I'll quickly sort of skim over them just to show you that it's fairly easy to come up with some strategies. And look, these could be one of the ones that we actually decide to do in the first instance. Okay, so let's have a look through all of these and go back to the top. So the first one is called the Bladerunner trade. Okay, so if we were going to use this as our strategy, what is this all about? So unfortunately, they don't really, in this particular site, they don't really sort of explain them in a nice logical way that makes it really easy to read. But here we go. So without going through all the copy, it uses a 20 EMA, and it looks at the start of the trading session. So we could make this sort of variable based on a time frame. So you could put a start and end time in there, and it looks for the high of the range. So you could say within from the start of the day to, let's say this is probably the half an hour chart, I think. I'm not too sure. It's the 5-minute chart. We could work out how many bars we want to actually test back from. So we could say maybe that's sort of 40 odd bars. So 40 bars, we go what's the high and what's the low, and we set that range here. Okay, so when price breaks the high, so we can say when it breaks the high, so this is when it's broken the high here, and if it's above, it breaks out of the range and retests the confluence of the 20 EMA, so breaks out, so we go, yep, we can tick that box, and then it comes back and retests the EMA here, and so we're now looking for the next break out of this EA. So sorry, out of this EMA. So test it, and I'd say would basically say when it closes, which looks like it's about here, when it closes outside of the EMA, then we know, actually, could it be even one of these ones here, closes above the EMA again, then we could go long, or it could be after X number of pips above the EMA, then we go long. Okay, if it has a closed X number of pips above. Go long, take profit here, and take profit here, and I think there's some descriptions as to how you actually use the take profit, but let's have a look if there's any logical reason they've got here. No, it just looks like sort of the first spike, they'll take a profit, and then maybe twice the size of the range, perhaps. Right, so that's that one there, and then obviously the opposite for the downtrend as well. So price in the range all day, wait for breakout and retest. So breaks out of that range, retests it, goes under the 20 EMA, over the 20 EMA. This one also looks for round numbers, confluence, so we have to figure out whether or not we actually want to use that. So you can see here that round number there of 1.25000. So and also old and now resistance, old support, now resistance. Okay, right, so it's looking at that as well. So that might be a little bit more difficult, but not impossible to build into an EA, and they've got their take profit targets, and I'm sure they give us an explanation here as to how we actually exit these trades. There's quite a few notes on this one. So there's one quick example of an EA that we could start building in the first tranche of this new group. Daily Fibonacci pivot trade. So what's this one all about? So if we have a look through here, what do we got here? Look for an entry on the currency pair where the average true range for the last 5-day period has been exceeded in the previous day's trading session. Okay, at the start of the current day session, draw fibs from the previous day's high to low to high if the price is currently above the current day central pivot, from the previous day's high to low if the price is currently below the day's central pivot. Look for complements on Fibonacci retracements with the daily central pivot. If the price retraces to the confluence identified into the market, or wait for the confirmation candle signal to occur at the confluence before entry. Obviously, it's a bit more risky to enter before getting the confirmationary signal, but it gives a greater possibility of risk to reward. So candlestick patterns are easy enough to find out when you're building EAs. The first chart shows the long entry at the confluence of the 38 Fibonacci. So Fibonacci is a little bit more difficult, but not impossible by any means to actually draw. So if we're looking at sort of high and low of the day, that's easy enough. You go, you've got your point there, you've got your point there. These points are going to be pretty fixed, and we're looking to draw that. So we'd have a level here. And what was the other thing? So we're looking, and then with the average true range, so that's easy enough to calculate as well. And then this candlestick pattern here. So this is a little bit more complex, but definitely one that we could easily enough build as part of an EA. So let's have a look at the third one here. Let's have a look here. Bolly band bounce trade. So let's have a look at that one. So if we scroll through here, I won't go through all the details, but the long and the short of it is, I mean, you can see here, right? So Bollinger band gets broken, and we've got a bit of a tweezer pattern happening here. But then you can see it gets broken here, and it gets broken here, and these aren't going to be winning trades if you go in for a long. So what do they say here? So it's basically wait for it to break, then retrace, break again at the top, and then if it goes through the center here, I've read through this before, so I know how it works. You move your stop loss, so if it goes through the middle line, you move your stop loss to break even. So in this case here, we would have been we would have exited with nothing. And if in this case here, because we've already sort of got that ranging market, we'd enter again, and then we get our winning trade, and then so on and so forth. That one wins as well, and you go down like that. So there's confirmationary signals again here. They're looking for bearish engulfing patterns, which are easy enough to do. Morning stars and that sort of thing. So you can see here there's your little morning star at the top there. So these are easy enough to build into an EA. They also do ask for other ones like pivots, support and resistance lines, Fibonacci's, anything that's going to add to the chance of it turning. So we can build in that sort of stuff. The more you build in, the less trades you get, but the more accurate you it becomes. Okay, so that was number 3. Number 4, Joule Stochastic trade. So this one here, you're looking at a slow stochastic and a fast stochastic, and you're looking for them to be at the opposite extremes of and the extremes being the 80 and the 20 levels. And let's have a look at the illustration to have a look. So you can see here that if we have a look here, so it's just here. So you've got one at the extreme below the slow one, and you've got the fast one at the extreme excuse me, above. And they're circling this here because there's also a little bit of a 20 EMA here coming into this strategy. So if it's if it's bounced off that, then you've got a better chance. And obviously that one went down. That one might have got stopped out or break even, and then that one there went down as well. So this is another nice little strategy. Although this one here, when you read through it, they sort of talk about the fact that sometimes it's not necessarily fully within that zone. So here they might be cheating a little bit. And if if we scroll down here, we can have a look at this one. Yeah, so this one didn't quite get to that zone. This one here didn't quite get there, and so didn't quite get to that zone there either. So when you're building EAs, they're either in the zone or they're not. There's no sort of discretion that you can actually put into the system. So some of these we might not recommend as an EA build. Number 5, Forex overlapping Fibonacci trade. Okay, so it is what it says. So it's looking for overlapping Fibonacci's, and you can see here that it's drawing Fibonacci's on different time frames using sort of the start and the end of the days. What are we looking at here? I didn't read through this one fully, but basically when you get Fibonacci levels in different time frames overlapping like you do here, and it's easy enough to say, like, give them a range, so we could either give them a price distance between high and low here to work out if a Fibonacci level is close enough to another Fibonacci level, then we will enter. As I mentioned before, Fibonacci levels can be a little bit more tricky to place in the right place, but it depends on how you want to approach that. So we could just say high and low of the day, which is easy enough, a high and low of the 15-minute bar, if you're on the 1-minute chart or 5-minute chart or something like that. These sort of things can be quite an easy way to draw your Fibonacci lines within an EA. This one also looks for confirmationary signals as well, so a bit of complements going on here, candlestick patterns as well, which just gives you a little bit more pivot levels, all that sort of stuff. So that's number 5. Number 6, the London Hema trade. Wondering how to trade the London Forex Open and beyond? Here's a suggestion, right? So this one here, what have we got? Okay, so this is all about Hema and what are they called? Rejection bar or hammer candlesticks. Okay, so you can see here at the start of the day, they're looking for the first hammer candle, or what are they called? Shooting star. And this is, inverse hammer. What am I saying? Inverse hammer candle. So here we've got one, here we've got the other. That was just before the end of the day. So say we said the EA would start looking for these hammer candlestick patterns at this. Actually, this is the start of the European session. So at the start of these sessions. So you can see here, we go, yep, we've got that. So now we're going to place our stop at the top, and you can see in the little dash there, he's placed a stop, and we're going to enter at the bottom. And so as that candle, we can actually enter at the close here, and you can see here he sort of took a nice profit and looking for 2 to 1. So if that's your 1, you're looking at 1, 2, so you're sort of exiting around about here in pretty quick succession. And then they we're looking for the next candles, so there's one here and one there, and so these are signifying that it could go up again, and so your entry could be, I think he's signifying that this is where the entry was. Okay, so that's sort of how it all operates with regard to this particular pattern. So this one might be a little more difficult to build in, but still doable. Let's have a look at the next one, London Hema, the Bladerunner reversal. So number 7, Bladerunner reversal. Okay, so this one uses an indicator that's available on their resources center. So I don't know if we can actually get to that from here, but if you could, then you might be able to. We might be able to use that. So sometimes custom indicators can be a little bit tricky and sometimes can't work, but most of the time we can get them to work. So we could use that for this particular strategy here, but because it's custom indicator and we've got 9 other strategies to choose from, I'm going to ignore that one for now. The pop and stop trade. Let's have a look at this one. Right, so now I had a look through this one, and it's pretty much a discretionary trade, so I wouldn't recommend this one be turned into an EA, but we could have a look through it in a bit more detail to see if there are any other ways to do it, but it's probably more for your discretionary trader who's reading the charts with their eyes. The drop and stop is about the same, and then the Forex, trading the Forex Fractal, let's have a look at this one. So now this is very much, as what it says here, is more than just a strategy idea. It's a way of understanding Forex price action and trade flows at the most fundamental level. So this could actually give you some ideas for a strategy that you might want to submit to the public EA Builds members area. So the more mechanical they are, we can see here, the easier they are to build, and sometimes the simpler ones are better. If you ever listen to my podcast, you'll know that some of the guys out there who are doing really well have said, look, the simpler the strategy, the better the results. So, okay guys, so if you are keen, then here's where you go. This is the page you go to, so automatemytrading.com/unique approach to profitable EAs. In actual fact, it's probably easier if I just put a link to the page underneath the video so that you've got that. And then we've got 4 hours left here at the moment. It's ticking down. And if you want to come on board, you can read through what it's all about, how it all works. But for as little as $25 for those people coming on per month, you're going to get at least one EA, or you can come on board for a year. There have been a couple that have come on board for a year already, and that's a yearly membership, so you'll get at least 12 EAs for that year, or you can come on one EA for $25 a month, and you sort of can be part of building that EA. So it's almost like having your personal EA developer there. So if you have any questions, you can jump on the chat here and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And if you've got any other questions that you want to talk to me via email, you can get me on cam@automatemytrading.com or click on the contact button up here. What else can I tell you about it? So yeah, if we don't get the 20 people, so I'm looking for 20 people, that's when we're going to go live. That's when we're going to go ahead with this. If not, I'm going to happily refund everyone their small commitment. So if you've invested 25, then you'll get 25 back. If you've invested 190, then you'll get 190 back. And I'll actually give you one of my unpublished EAs as a thank you for your support and time. So it's a win-win. And we've only got a few more hours, as I've said, 4 hours here to get on board and make this thing happen, make it live, make it real. It's going to come down pretty soon unless something remarkable happens for whatever reason. I don't know. I'll win the lottery or something and I can keep it up for a bit longer. But guys, here's what you need to do. Jump on, click these buttons, and you're in the door. And you get the money back if we don't go ahead and get 20 people. Okay, so it's either going to fly or it's not. But thank you for watching anyway, and hopefully you learned something. And if you want to go and check out those strategies, it's authenticfx.com/trading the Forex Fractal. Well, actually, that's the Fractal one. The 10 best Forex strategies.html. So I'm assuming if you chucked that into Google, 10 best strategies, you'd come up with this page here and be able to have a look through those. Okay guys, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. See you on the other side.